Did you know that if America's holiday candy production stopped for just 1 week during December, empty shelves would spread across the nation by mid-month, and Christmas morning would arrive with millions of stockings left unfilled? Every year, between Thanksgiving and Christmas, over 1.76 billion candy canes must flood store shelves in just 6 weeks. Factories run 24 hours a day. Production lines stretch 60 meters long. And beneath the festive chaos, a single piece invention from 1957 keeps the entire operation from shattering into worthless fragments. Join us as we uncover the industrial precision behind the treats that define the American holiday season. Let's begin. Long before candy canes conquered December, another sweet treat was quietly building an empire. Gingerbread cookies, those spiced, molasses-rich biscuits that grandmothers baked by hand for generations, have transformed into a $2.8 billion global industry. But what most people don't realize is that gingerbread is now among the fastest-growing cookie flavors in America, with industry data showing growth rates exceeding 26% while traditional favorites stay flat. The journey of a commercial gingerbread cookie begins in a massive industrial mixer where over 3,000 pounds of flour meet butter chilled to exactly 8 degrees Celsius. Temperature matters here more than most bakers realize. If the butter warms even slightly, the fat molecules break down, destroying the cookie's signature crisp texture. The mixture spins for precisely 12 minutes as molasses, brown sugar, and a carefully guarded spice blend flow in through calibrated nozzles. The spice blend is where the magic happens. Cinnamon, ginger, cloves, allspice, and sometimes a whisper of black pepper combine in ratios that took decades to perfect. In modern facilities, these spices aren't measured by hand. Instead, automated dispensers release exact quantities down to the gram, ensuring that cookie number 1 tastes identical to cookie number 1,000,000. But here's the hidden risk that keeps factory managers awake at night. Over 70% of the world's ginger comes from just 3 countries, and a single hurricane season or shipping delay can spike prices by 40% in weeks. When spice costs surge, factories face an impossible choice: absorb the losses or risk losing shelf space to competitors. The margins are razor thin, the pressure relentless. Once the dough reaches ideal consistency, it moves into a massive chilling chamber where temperatures drop to 4 degrees Celsius. This step is critical. Cold dough holds its shape during cutting and prevents the cookies from spreading too thin during baking. After 30 minutes of rest, the dough passes through high-pressure rollers that flatten it into uniform sheets, each precisely 4 millimeters thick. What no one expected was that the key to unlocking gingerbread's modern dominance wasn't better spices or fancier ovens. It was hiding in the cutting machine itself, a technology that would let one factory produce what 500 home kitchens once struggled to match. Rotary cutters spin at controlled speeds, stamping out gingerbread men, stars, and trees at a rate of 400 cookies per minute. Unlike home baking, where imperfect edges and uneven thickness create charm, industrial gingerbread demands absolute uniformity. Sensors scan each cut cookie, rejecting any piece that deviates more than 2 millimeters from standard dimensions. The unbaked cookies travel through a tunnel oven stretching nearly 60 meters long, where circulating heat bakes them at 185 degrees Celsius for exactly 14 minutes. Inside, the magic of the Maillard reaction unfolds. Sugars and proteins bond, creating the golden brown color and complex flavor that defines properly baked gingerbread. Too short, and the cookies stay pale and soft. Too long, and they turn bitter and hard as stone. When the cookies emerge, they're immediately transferred to cooling racks, where forced air drops their temperature from scalding to room temperature in under 5 minutes. This rapid cooling locks in the crisp texture consumers expect. Within an hour of leaving the oven, the cookies are packaged in moisture-resistant film and stacked into shipping containers bound for stores across America. Each year, Americans consume over 2 billion cookies, with industry estimates placing them among the top 3 most consumed desserts nationwide. And during the holiday season, gingerbread leads the charge. But gingerbread's reign is about to face competition from a treat so iconic, so perfectly engineered, that 90% of its annual sales happen in just 6 weeks. Candy canes are everywhere in December, hanging from Christmas trees, stuffed into stockings, crushed over peppermint bark. But for nearly 3 centuries, producing these striped confections was a nightmare. Each cane had to be bent by hand before the sugar hardened, and breakage often exceeded 20%. Workers raced against cooling temperatures, trying to shape hundreds of canes per hour while watching thousands shatter into useless fragments. Then, in 1957, a Catholic priest named Gregory Keller changed everything. Working summers at his brother-in-law's candy factory in Georgia, Keller recognized that the shepherd's crook shape was the bottleneck strangling production. He disappeared into a workshop and emerged with what would become known as the Keller machine, a mechanical marvel that could twist soft candy into spiral stripes and bend it into perfect hooks without a single human hand touching the fragile sugar. The machine revolutionized candy cane production overnight. Bob's Candies, the company founded by Keller's brother-in-law, Bob McCormack, went from producing thousands of canes per week to millions per month. Today, descendants of Keller's design power factories that produce 2.7 million candy canes every single day. Only one step remained before candy canes could truly dominate December, a step so precise that even a deviation of 3 degrees could turn a perfect batch into a pile of worthless glass shards. The process begins with pure cane sugar heated to exactly 150 degrees Celsius. At this temperature, the sugar reaches what candy makers call the hard crack stage, where the syrup becomes brittle and glass, like when cooled. Add corn syrup to prevent crystallization, then pour the molten mixture onto stainless steel cooling tables. As the sugar cools, workers add peppermint oil, the concentrated essence that gives candy canes their signature flavor. Natural peppermint oil is 3 times stronger than artificial flavoring, and factories use it sparingly. Just 2 drops per pound of sugar creates the cooling sensation that millions of Americans crave every December. Here's where Keller's genius becomes visible. The candy mass splits into 2 portions. One stays white, the other receives drops of red food coloring until it glows crimson. Mechanical pullers stretch both portions repeatedly, incorporating air and creating the glossy sheen candy canes are known for. When the white and red portions reach the perfect consistency, somewhere between taffy and glass, they're fed into the Keller machine. Inside the machine, the white candy forms the core while the red candy wraps around it in a spiral. Heated rollers twist the 2 colors together, creating the iconic striped pattern. Then, at the critical moment, mechanical arms bend each cane into its shepherd's crook shape. The entire process takes less than 30 seconds from sugar strand to finished candy cane. And America had no choice but to trust this automated precision, to see whether this mechanical ballet would become the final joke or proof that sometimes the most beloved traditions survive only by embracing the future. Each year, Americans produce 1.76 billion candy canes, and 90% of them sell between Thanksgiving and Christmas. Spangler Candy Company alone produces enough candy canes in December to stretch from New York to Los Angeles, if laid end to end. The scale is staggering, the precision unforgiving, and the margins razor thin. But candy canes don't stand alone in December. They're crushed, melted, and transformed into another holiday phenomenon. A confection so simple that anyone can make it at home, yet so profitable that one company spent over a year perfecting the recipe. Peppermint bark seems almost too easy. Melt chocolate, sprinkle crushed candy canes on top, let it harden. Done. But when Williams Sonoma decided to create their signature version in 1998, founder Chuck Williams and his test kitchen team discovered that simplicity hides brutal complexity. They ran 20 rounds of testing before landing on the perfect recipe. The problem wasn't the chocolate or the peppermint, it was the interface between them. Dark chocolate made with cocoa butter wouldn't bond properly with white chocolate made with palm oil. The layers separated, creating an unacceptable texture. After months of experimentation, Williams Sonoma found the answer. Use Guittard chocolate for both layers, blend triple distilled peppermint oil into the white chocolate, and crush the candy canes to exact specifications. Today, Williams Sonoma's peppermint bark production operates like a precision military campaign. It takes 12 weeks every year just to produce enough bark to meet demand. Each batch requires 24 hours from start to finish. First, dark chocolate melts at exactly 45 degrees Celsius, then spreads onto massive cooling tables. Once set, a layer of white chocolate infused with peppermint oil covers the dark base. Finally, workers sprinkle 65,000 pounds of crushed peppermint candy across the surface. The crushing process itself deserves attention. Candy canes can't be pulverized into powder or left in large chunks. The ideal size is 3 to 5 millimeters, large enough to provide crunch but small enough to distribute evenly. Industrial crushers achieve this by feeding candy canes through calibrated rollers that apply just enough pressure to fracture without shattering. But beneath that careful choreography, hidden from customers admiring the red and white swirls, peppermint bark was quietly building something profound. A legacy that would prove chocolate and mint weren't just flavors. They were a billion-dollar statement about what Americans crave every December. Williams Sonoma uses over 1 million pounds of chocolate every holiday season just for peppermint bark. The confection has become so popular that the company now offers 35 different peppermint bark-flavored products, from cookies to espresso martini mix. What started as a simple holiday treat has evolved into a seasonal empire worth millions. Yet even peppermint bark's dominance faces a challenger. A treat so new, so perfectly engineered for social media, that it went from novelty to nationwide phenomenon in less than 5 years. Hot chocolate bombs look like magic. Drop a hollow chocolate sphere into hot milk. Watch it melt. Suddenly, cocoa powder and marshmallows explode outward, transforming plain milk into rich hot chocolate. The effect is mesmerizing, the taste satisfying, and the production process surprisingly complex. Creating a perfect hot chocolate bomb begins with chocolate tempering, a process that requires precise temperature control. chocolate melts at 32 degrees Celsius. But if you simply melt it and let it harden, the cocoa butter crystallizes incorrectly, creating a dull, chalky surface. Professional chocolate makers heat chocolate to 45 degrees, cool it to 27 degrees, then warm it again to 32 degrees. This thermal dance aligns the cocoa butter crystals, producing the glossy snap consumers expect. Before we reveal just how many of these treats flood America every December, if you're finding this story as fascinating as we did, hit subscribe. We uncover the industrial breakthroughs behind everyday products like this every week. Now, the moment of truth. Tempered chocolate flows into hemisphere molds, coating the interior surface. The molds spin on automated turntables, ensuring even coverage. Once the chocolate sets, workers fill half the spheres with cocoa powder and mini marshmallows. A second half sphere, its edge briefly warmed to create adhesion, seals the package. The result is a seamless chocolate sphere, hiding sweet secrets inside. Hot chocolate itself ranks as America's favorite holiday beverage, chosen by 58% of consumers in 2024. The market generates $1.3 billion during peak season, and 67% of Americans plan to drink it during the holidays. Hot chocolate bombs have turbocharged this already massive market, turning a simple drink into an Instagram-worthy experience. From gingerbread cookies rising 26% annually to candy canes engineered by a priest's mechanical genius, from peppermint bark perfected through 20 rounds of testing to hot chocolate bombs melting into viral moments, America's holiday treats represent more than nostalgia. They're billion-dollar industries built on temperature precision, mechanical innovation, and relentless optimization. Every December, over 1.76 billion candy canes hang from trees. 2 billion cookies disappear into eager hands. Millions of pounds of chocolate transform into peppermint bark, and hot chocolate sales surge past $1 billion. The scale is staggering, the precision unforgiving, and the sweetness absolutely undeniable. If this story changed how you see holiday treats, drop a comment below. Subscribe for more stories where tradition meets industrial precision.